Good evening, Patriot family. Well, I'm listening to the news because I wanted to hear mainstream media's lies and deception about the rallies and protests in Melbourne, Sydney and Queensland border. We'll start with Melbourne first, and I'm going to start this with a question to the Victorian Police, especially any of them that will be behind the triggers of the guns yesterday shooting at our citizens. Rightio. How do you guys justifiably go home and look your family in the eye after shooting at our citizens? These people you were shooting at yesterday are humans, like your family. They could have been your family. How did you know that your teenage children weren't there protesting? Or, your crazy cousin, as you class him. Maybe your nan was there. I listened to mainstream media footage, and they made the protesters out to be violent and out of control. They labelled us a bunch of lunatics. And the footage I listened to made us sound just like that. Editing's a marvellous thing, guys. And we're always going to get set up by mainstream media. So, tune in to Rebel News and check out Abby Amity's video. He was down there live on the front line, tear gas flowing, filming our citizens being shot by Victorian police officers with rubber bullets. Now, I listened to several different, probably 20 different versions from different people of the Melbourne protest yesterday. In every one of them, because I was listening for the trigger point, the police rushed the crowd. Now, when we get rushed at, we're going to defend ourselves. We were peacefully protesting, and you guys came in with tear gas and rubber bullets, and there's some crazy patriots out there that are going to stand their ground. I'm telling you right now, had I been there, I would have been shot. For sure. Because for one, I wouldn't have known where to run, because can't see where I'm running, so I would have just stood still, and I would have stood tall and proud, because I am the blind Aussie patriot, and I would have been shot. And then I would have been manhandled. Now, the fact that you shot me would have pissed me right off. Sorry, but I'm not going to try not to swear. This is attempt number 4. So, if I had been shot, I would have then instantly been detained. I'm a mental health patient with brain damage who cannot see. I have zero impulse control. You shoot me and then you touch me, I'm going to lose it. I am going to instantly break out in defence. And I'd say that was probably a couple of the scenarios that went down in Melbourne yesterday. And because we did react the way we did, the mainstream media got to make us look like maniacs. But, word of warning to the Australian police, don't think for a second we're going to stand by and let you shoot us, tear gas us, and rough us up and intimidate us. I might be blind, but the first cop that touches me inappropriately, sorry, I'm going to headbutt you. And realise this, I've generally always got a camera rolling, so I'll be able to prove that you broke the law in unlawfully touching or doing something to me. We have rights. So do they. Our right is to obey their command, but their commands have to be warranted and justified. And the way the Melbourne police carried on yesterday was not justified or warranted. As I said, I listened to a lot of footage. Not one of them clips does the Patriot movement step out of line until the police come in on the attack. And then we defend. My father fought for this country. I'll fight for this country. And I'll fight against the police if I have to. So, to the Melbourne police that pulled the trigger yesterday on our citizens with rubber bullets, go and explain to your children and your friends and family how you're justifying these actions. Because I can't see any way of you doing it without wanting to go into the bathroom and cry. You should resign from your job and maybe become a patriot. Because at the moment, you are defending the government, not the people. And the police are there to protect the people. I'll leave Melbourne there. To everyone that turned up and did get shot at or injured, I hope you heal well. And thank you. Now I'm going to get to Sydney. Sydney is about to go into curfew mode tonight. How many homeless people are going to get arrested? I said this in my previous video. Now, they locked Sydney down tight as you could yesterday. Aussie Cossack, he nailed it. Done it perfect. Hooked a trailer up to his car, whacked up some flags, cranked up bolts on the tilde, and went for a drive to a doctor's appointment. He made sure he had every I dotted and every T crossed, and he pulled it off. The police in Sydney aren't behaving any better than Melbourne. If you've been watching Aussie Cossacks videos, they're out to get everyone. Even I'm in 700k from Sydney, and I had to wear a mask in front yard. Not allowed to visit people. I live in a caravan park, and I have brain damage. I'm blind, and I'm a mental health patient. Like it hadn't worked that out. And because of the laws and that, the owner won't even let care come in to see me at the moment. So if I need to get care, I've got to meet them out the front, or I've got to walk 3k to town. Appalling. The system needs to be adjusted to adequately adapt to people's individual needs, like the homeless, the vulnerable. See, there we go, the vulnerable. Of course, we're not going to get any help. But, it's a sad story. Now the Sydney protest, as I said, was very mild. I was very surprised, but the fact they locked it down that hard, I'm surprised anyone even got there at all. Now I'm going to move on to the Queensland border closure protest. This hurts me personally. This touches my heart. My son lives in Queensland, and I can't go and see him now until I get a jab. It's already been near impossible to get to see him as it is, because of border closures and things like that. There's a lot of people out there that live on either side of the Queensland border that care for people on opposite sides and visit people. And we're all being hurt and affected by this. The way the protest went off this afternoon up there, well done. They marched across the border, back across. The police hassled them a little, but all in all, it went off really well. One final night of freedom. And he's just told us, brace yourselves, Sydney. So we've got everything in this great country of ours is changing. My father fought for this country. I will fight for this country. And I expect anyone that loves our country to do the same. The police powers and behaviour at the moment are appalling and atrocious. The fact that mainstream media is beating it up to make protesters look like the bad guys. Everybody has the right to freedom. Everyone has the right to protest. unfortunately, guys, we need to find a new approach. Aussie Cossack doing his drive, spot on yesterday. Abby, he become a journalist as much as he hates him. That gets him over it. Me, I don't see the sign that says don't do it. So, that's my excuse. I'm going to stick to it. I will never let the government and police of this country walk over the people. Not on my shift. And probably not on yours. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this channel. We live in a multicultural country now. We all have to accept the fact that Australians come from all nationalities, races and religions. And we need to unite as one to show the government that they can't just take away our freedom and our lives at the drop of a hat. It's a hard time. We need to look at things differently, approach situations from a totally different aspect, and most of all, we need to back each other. I don't care about colour, race, religion, I'm not going to get into the debate, is Corona real or fake? Whatever it is, in my opinion, yes, Corona is real. It was released by the Chinese government with permission from the rest of the world to bring down the numbers of our population to sustain our planet. Because if you look back for 2 years beforehand, we're overpopulated. Russia was running amok. China was running amok. Now, anyone paying attention to them? No, it's all COVID. Mainstream media is brainwashing and manipulating us with fear and strong arm tactics now from the police. It's sad. Whether Corona is real or not is irrelevant now. What's relevant is the fact that it's given the governments of the world so much free power over the people. Right to protest? Hell yes. That's Blind Aussie Patriot's opinion. Looking forward to your comments, opinions and feedback. And remember, subscribe, give a video a like, give it a share. And there's a little bell, I think it's over there somewhere in your screen. It's called a notification bell. Smash it like it's a speedball at a gym. Rightio, guys. Stay safe. Much love.
Stop recording button.